In three, two. All right. Happy to be joined by Adrian Yanez. He's got a big fight here. Daniel Marcos, UFC Fight Night, UFC Tampa, I should say, December
hmm
14th. Adrian, how you doing, man?
Man, I'm doing good, man. Yeah, loving life, man. Happy I got another fight. So, finally get two in a year, man. Getting two in a year is like getting a lot more difficult just with the state of the UFC. But yeah,
Yeah.
now I'm happy I'm able to get the second one in.
Yeah, no, that's great. And obviously nice to fight at the end of the year, too. Get the last card, which is awesome. When did you find out? Because I know we sort of saw this on social media. Did you get a full camp? How much notice did you get?
Man, I think I had got the notice like about like last Wednesday, I think. Yeah,
Hmm.
it was right before it was right before Halloween for sure. So yeah,
Oh,
I
okay,
think
cool.
Halloween was
Okay.
Thursday. Yeah, so I got called Wednesday, and then I was just like, yeah, I'm here, I'm up for it. So not a full camp, but at the same time, like luckily for me, I still been training. So
Yeah. And then, of course, your last fight was in May. This fight's in December. I
Mhm.
imagine, did you want to fight sooner than this? Or with everything you got going on outside the cage? I know your dad was kind of nice to have some time off.
Yeah, no, it was nice, but I was immediately looking for a fight after May. I was there. I was asked by my management. It was like, hey, how fast you want to get back in there? I was like, man, I want to go back in immediately. Like I took no damage. I'm good to go. So pretty much the only thing that was getting offered to me at those times are kind of like short notices, and then uh, I ended up like they were too close where like weight was going to be an issue, and I didn't want to step in and like miss weight, so I wasn't going to be that guy. So
Yeah.
very honest in where I was approaching. I did get approached for October 5th, but it was too close because I ended up I had another baby. So
Oh, cool. Oh,
yeah.
awesome.
So
Okay.
I'm a new father again. So yeah. So
Okay, there you go. No, no,
uh
stuff like I said, you got a lot going on, so that's great. So you have two kids now, right?
oh yeah, two of them. Trying to make it six. Trying to get hit Nick Cannon
R-
numbers.
Are
So
are you seriously? Or
I wish that's what I'm
yeah.
going for. I want a big
Okay.
family, but no. Yeah, that kept me busy. So I wasn't able to accept that October 5th card, man. As much as I wanted to, I just couldn't have my priorities where I had to be there for the birth. So that
Yeah.
was
No,
the
no, good
biggest
on
thing
you.
holding me back.
You're not going to get to see another. You know what I mean? Like
Oh
that's
yeah.
a moment you can't get back. So good on you for doing that. One thing that's happened since you and I last spoke, your teammate Cameron Smotherman being in the UFC. That
Mhm.
whole story is crazy about him cornering in PFL and then coming out. Like, how cool is that for you? Because I think everyone, and I mentioned this in our interview with him, like everyone
Mhm.
felt he should have been in the UFC. Like it was only a matter of time. But just even the way it came together, him getting the fight, him being a big underdog, him beating Jake Hadley, like take me like that must be so cool for you as a team member of his just to see him go out there and
Oh.
perform the way he did.
Oh yeah, no, it's kind of crazy to me because I literally saw him from the very beginning as an amateur. I remember
Yeah.
like I can still remember the point whenever he got his first like he was making his MMA debut. I remember how distraught he was whenever he was like, "Oh shit, this is real." Like
Yeah.
that moment of like, "Oh, I'm going to actually fight." I remember how like holy, like I remember those moments, like the small
Yeah.
moments from the very beginning all the way till like every moment leading up to there. So like for me, it was like I just watching that was amazing because I was back home. I was back home in Houston because I was training other training partners as well too because for their upcoming fights. And so he went with Rafion Stotts to Saudi Arabia, and he called me Tuesday night saying that I like I don't know something like I ended up getting like a that phone call was like very like oh okay he called me. I was like he knows like he's overseas, like man. I was like okay. So I'm leaving the gym. I get a text message from somebody else like, hey, can you get the flight confirmation? I'm just like, wait, oh, so
Yeah.
I
He's
call
actually
him
doing it. Yeah.
immediately. Yeah, like
Yeah.
I called him immediately, and he's like, "Hey," I was like, "No way!" And then we just had like literally like about 2 minutes of us going. I was like, "No way!" He's like, "Yes way!" Yeah, it was a whole little thing that we just kept going back and forth, and yeah, and then the next day I was on a flight to Vegas to go corner him. We literally landed like about an hour apart from time, because he was on the plane immediately as soon as he got the call. So it was very very like I wish it was better circumstances, but at the same time, man, it was the way he was able to like uh to go through all of it and still make weight, be a true professional, and make weight, fight his heart out. Especially, man, the man wasn't in camp, so he was kind of doing like he was in the he's one of those guys that stays in the gym, but he like there's a difference in level of training whenever you're in a camp going to go fight somebody than like training off camp, so for him to go
Yeah.
in there and be ready for a 3-on fight against Jake Hadley, man, it was just phenomenal. I was so happy. I'm still ecstatic about it because I'm just like,
Yeah.
yeah. Because I remember I took him to my UFC debut, and on the flight over there, he was saying like, "Hey, thank you for bringing me," and I was like, "Nah, bro. The reason why I'm bringing you is because like I never had anybody do this for me. I want you to see that it was possible, and then also by the time you get to the UFC, I want you to get used to this, and as soon as he stepped in there that night, like I usually am super nervous, like super, super nervous in the corner. But as soon as I got in the corner, I was like, oh, nah, we're winning today. Like there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's like we're winning today.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love hearing that. It's almost like a story you couldn't even script the way it all sort of unfolded, which is cool. But let's talk about you. Like I mentioned, tough opponent here, Daniel Marcos, undefeated, 16-0. I'm sure you've seen him, probably knew a bit about him before taking this. Just how are you looking at this fight stylistically?
Stylistically, man, for me, it's a beautiful matchup. He's another striker that's gonna want to stay in my face, and I would absolutely love that. He's not really gonna initiate any takedowns. It's gonna be a stand up war, and that's what I'm looking forward to. He's very dangerous. He's very dangerous, but he does leave a lot of openings, and I want to capitalize on that. But yeah, no, I like his style. He lives and dies by standing on his feet and trading, and I love that, so for me it's an exciting matchup, not only for me but for the fans as well too, man. It's gonna be a fun one, and I
Yeah.
can't wait to take that goose egg, man. I'm gonna take that goose egg away from him.
Yeah, it's definitely a fight of the night candidate for sure. I'm assuming because this fight was a bit of short notice, no cross training this camp, it was all at home base. Or take me through camp and who you've had a chance to work with. You already mentioned a couple of your teammates, obviously. So
Oh yeah. So Rafion Stotts and then Cameron Smotherman. I do have a lot of other guys that I'm able to work with. I was I was planning on going to Mexico, but Cameron's gonna go ahead and go down to Mexico. But for me, I wanted to, but it's not looking like it's available. Like it's not looking like I'll be able to do it just for personal reasons. And then on top of that, there is a hurricane coming. Like I have to be sure. Like I have to stay home. So just in case that I had to help the family evacuate. So that does.
is
Throw
there
a
a
wrench in
hurricane where
everything.
again, I live in Canada and Vancouver,
Yeah.
so I have no idea. But so a hurricane's coming?
So there, it's another yeah. So we had Hurricane Beryl not too long ago, like about a month or two ago. But this one, it looks like it's on track to hit us. But we're still kind of far, like still like it's barely hitting Cuba at the moment. So it's way to like the Texas area. They Earlier they were saying it was going to hit Louisiana, but now it's looking like it's going a little bit more further south. So that brought up some worries for me, and I'm just like, well, especially with the newborn, I'm not taking chances. Uh, so yeah, so most of my camp is going to be done back here, but at the same time, I have like I've been going to Heritage Muay Thai, and I got a lot of guys, a lot of bodies who will be able to very mimic the style of Daniel Marcos. So like, man, I really can't wait, man. I'm excited about this camp. I'm excited for the rest of the time, and I'm glad that I did my due diligence and not being lazy and not
Mhm.
being lazy. So yeah, I've been excited.
So where are you going to evacuate if the hurricane does hit you? Like, where are you going to?
I do. It's one of two places. Either I'm gonna go to San Antonio, because I know places over there that I'd be able to get some work, and then Dallas as well. I know some great places up there to go train as well too. So, one of the two spots. It's either San Antonio or Dallas for me. So, because if
Yeah,
I go
and
to San
Dallas
Antonio,
obviously. Yeah, I was gonna say sorry. Dallas has obviously Fortis, right? Yeah,
Mhm.
have you trained there before? I was trying to remember.
no, but I know if I needed to, I'd be able to hit up safe, and he'd be more than welcome to uh open
Bring you
arms.
in. Yeah,
Yeah, So
yeah.
I know
Okay.
for a fact I'd be able to go out there.
Okay, well that's good. Yeah,
Mhm.
glad everyone's hopefully everything goes well there. So what your corner I'm assuming will be the same even if you do have to go train elsewhere. Is that sort of the
Mhm.
plan? Who's going to be in the cage with you?
Yes, yeah, everything's gonna be the same. Cameron, just because like I've been having him there since my UC debut, and then Eve Edwards and my Muay Thai coach Michael Chase Corley. So I have those guys there. They've been helping me for these past couple years. So for me, just gonna get got the I got the knowledge there. So that's all I really need at the moment.
I don't think this fight's hitting the scorecards. How's this one playing out in December 14th?
Man, I'm telling you right now, I think I get him out of there. I think I will get him out of there. I think I get him out of there in the second round. We're gonna fill each other out for the first round, and then after that, all hell's gonna break loose. And once it breaks loose, I feel like I have the power to put him to sleep. So I think that's where it's gonna finish off at in the second round. It's gonna be a fun one, man. I can't wait.
Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to it. It's good matchmaking there. Kudos to the matchmakers. I wanted to just ask you about a couple other fights. I know this one you trained with them, but I got to ask anyways. Aljamain Sterling's fighting Movsari Voyev at featherweight. Just how do you see that fight unfolding?
Man, I like that fight a lot. Just because I like the movement of Aljo. I like Aljo's movement. He is very awkward when he strikes, but I feel like that's what's gonna make it harder for Mozar. Uh, like grappling for grappling, man. I feel like it's kind of like a toss up because again, I've grappled with Aljamain, but also at the same time, I haven't got to grapple with Mozar. So it's weird things where it's like I don't know who's the better grappler, because they're both at a super high level. So to me, whenever you got two high level grapplers, it kind of cancels out and ends up being a striking battle. And I feel like the awkwardness and the ranginess of Aljo would definitely do fair, like it'll definitely fare for him very well.
Yeah. Okay. And then the main event of your card, they just announced it. Ian Gary and Joaquin Buckley. It's 5 rounds. So who you leaning towards in that one?
Damn, man. I've been very impressed with Joaquin Buckley as of late, especially being able to put Wonder Boy to sleep like that, man. Holy that was phenomenal. Wonder Boy is hard to hit. He's one of those guys who's very slippery and hard to hit. Ian, Ian Gary, though, he poses a lot of problems. He's very fast. He has fast hands. He throws fast combinations, and he's also light on his toes. So it's gonna be a fun one. I slightly edge Ian Gary to take that one just because of the speed factor. But I do think Joaquin Buckley has the speed and the explosiveness to get to him. And if he can touch him, he does have the power to put him to sleep. So I think it goes all 5, and I think Ian Gary edges it out.
And then just 2 more I wanted to ask you about. They're not officially booked, but it looks like they're going to happen next. The first one is Islam Makhachev and Arman Saryukin. Do you think Arman can do it in the rematch, or do you think Islam ultimately gets the win there?
Oh man, that's gonna be a fun one, man. That's one of those ones where I just kind of sit back and I just want to watch, and I'd watch and not really break down just because I don't know what's exactly gonna happen. But just because of the run that Islam's been on, I'm gonna go Islam, but I wouldn't be surprised if Arman took the win. That one for me is more like to me that's a dream matchup, dream fight. Just two styles. It was a very close fight the first time they fought. So especially on Armin's short notice, it was a short notice for Armin. So for me, I'm just like, man, I want to like just the storyline behind it is gonna be amazing. So I can't wait. I can't wait for that fight.
And then Merab and Umar, it looks like they will fight next.
Mhm.
Who wins that? That's a very interesting one.
Yeah, that one is a very interesting one. I kind of want to see how Merab approaches this, and then I kind of want to see where Umar is going to approach this because Umar is his striking kind of very underrated, and he's also a phenomenal grappler. And Merab has that nonstop cardio pace, and he's also a phenomenal grappler as well too. I know that like there's also 2 different contrasting styles with Umar and Merab. Merab, he doesn't care. He will let you back up just so he can take you back down. He doesn't mind that at all, just because he knows he can mentally break you that way. Umar is looking to control the position and looking to find ways to get the fight and finish the fight. So for me, I don't know. It's kind of a toss up for me. They're both really really good. I know Merab has fought like at a high level for a very long time, and Umar, his biggest victory is a Corey Sandhagen. So it's kind of one of those like, is it Umar untested, or is it that or the high how much high level fights that Merab has is going to be the key factor of this? Like what is it going to be? Like, is Umar actually at that level, or is again
Yeah.
I will pick Merab, and I will base it just completely off of cardio.
Okay.
just
Yeah,
because I
it's
like skill
yeah.
wise, I don't know, it's all over the place for me.
No. I think that's totally fair. And again, really interesting style matchup in that one too, which will be good. Okay, so this is kind of a fun game we're going to play. And then I got like one more question. We'll get out of here. I've been asking the fighters. I kind of get them. I give them 2 fighter names and you pick which one you think is better. So I've done pound for pound. I've done best grappler. This one we're going to do because you're obviously a striker. We're going to go with best striker in UFC history. So I'm going to give you 2 names. You tell me which is the better striker. There's no wrong answers here. It's just an opinion. We can always go a bunch of different ways as well. Best striker in UFC history, Conor McGregor or Anderson Silva?
Ooh, I'm gonna go Anderson.
Okay, Anderson Silva or Justin Gaethje?
Anderson.
Anderson Silva or Jose Aldo?
That's another good one. Damn. Damn, that's a real good one. You know what? I'm gonna stick to Anderson.
Okay, Anderson Silva or Max Holloway?
Ooh, that's another good one. Damn. I will say Anderson. MMA striking, definitely Anderson.
Okay, Anderson Silva and Ilia Topuria.
Fuck, that's a good one.
No wrong answers here, by the way. I'm sure everyone will debate this, but it's like, trust me, this is about as hard as it gets. So.
I'll probably say Anderson again. I will.
Okay.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I'm going to let you off the hook here because we got one left. Anderson Silva and Alex Pereira.
Ooh, Alex. Oh, damn, that's a scary good one. I will say, you know what? I'm going to say Alex Pereira. I'll say Alex Pereira on that one.
Okay, there we go. Ending on a different name there. Obviously Marcos undefeated, 16-0. Where does a win put you? Because that, again, when you beat an undefeated guy like this, that really propels you up. It's almost like fighting a guy who's like ranked or whatever, right? So.
Oh yeah, that's exactly what type of fight I was looking for. I wanted an undefeated fighter or somebody close to the rankings. I want to get I want to get back into the rankings so I can start working my way into a title shot. Like, for me, getting Daniel Marcos, is a very fun fight, but also a fight with a lot of opportunities in the sense of like, I go in there, let's just say, even if I get squeaked by a win, that still puts me in that top 15 area. But if I go out there and I steamroll them, that definitely it's a sure in to the top 15. So for me, I'm excited with this matchup because there's a lot of opportunities where I can start fighting bigger names and get back to the position that I was at before, because I have no one else to blame but me for falling out the rankings. So I'm working my way back in. So once I get back in, I'm sorry for you other guys, man. I'm coming for it all. So the first step is Marcos, and I got to go in there and take his goose egg. So for me, like, I'm excited. I'm hoping, man. I'm really hoping I go out there and just start him, steamroll him. I know I'm gonna get the win, but I'm hoping I have that power to put him to sleep. So I know I have it, but I just hope in the fight there's the opportunity opens up.
Just had one question actually I wanted to slide in here. We got a question saying, do you think that Marcos defeated Davy Grant in his fight? Did you watch this fight with Davy Grant?
I watched parts of it. I need to go back to study because I've been more along the lines of studying his fight with that's a long last. It was like a no contest, I believe.
Yeah, I'll look it up right now. I'll take your word for it. So yeah, the answer is no to that. Well, because you haven't seen the fight. But I was going to say the fight. Were you talking Richie Lang?
Yes, that one. I did. I was catching glimpses of him versus Davey, and I felt like Davey was getting the better of the exchanges. I had to go back because I haven't watched it for the breakdown. I just kind of watched it as overview. But it felt like Davey Grant was. I felt like he was landing the better shots. But again, it's a tough. It was pretty tough. Close. It wasn't like a coin. It's not like what's called it was purely dominant. So I gotta. Again, I believe Davey Grant might have took that fight, but Marcos took it out. So for me, he's still undefeated. I gotta go out there and put a stamp on it.
And someone else is asking about Gary and Buckley. We already talked about that. He's going a slight edge to Gary, but feels like Buckley could also knock him out too. Last question, not related to MMA, but obviously big news this week. Trump winning the presidency. Just your reaction to that. I know a lot of fighters did vote for Trump. I don't need to get your, I don't want to dig too deep in your political affiliation, but just your reaction to it. I'm curious.
My reaction is so for my reaction has been, it's been like kind of just crazy to see the different contrasting like areas on both sides. You know, you got people just like you can scroll a couple on TikTok and all of a sudden you see people crying, and then you see people like saying we told you so, and then like there's just the like it's just so much, man. I'm just like, man, I can't wait till next week whenever the news starts changing over a little bit, you know, and
Mhm.
I don't think it's gonna be as bad as people say it is, and I don't think it's gonna be as good as people say it is. So,
Okay. It's a
for
very Canadian answer. You should move to
yeah,
Canada. I like that. No. That's
I
it. I'm
like
just giving you a hard time. I'm giving you a hard
the
time.
the way I like to explain it is like, man, I'm not left wing, I'm not right wing, I'm just the fucking bird, you know. I'm just that's what I
Yeah.
am, man. I just
I
want
think
what's
most
good for
people
the
are. I
people.
think most people aren't, at extreme on either side, and it just sucks that like, yeah, I remember when we could discuss politics, and now it's all like, you got to be careful, you don't say the wrong thing, right? So
Yeah, cause then it's if you like, man, yeah, man, I really think Trump is gonna do good. It's like, oh, you racist, and then all of a sudden, you flip over and try to be a Kamala, and you should be like, yeah, no, I think I'm gonna vote for Kamala, and then all of a sudden it's like very leftist ideology, and you're just like, dude, like, bro, like
I'm just a
I,
fighter. Who
I'm just
cares what
I
I
do,
think? So
bro.
yeah.
It goes back to the Dave Chappelle joke. You know, I was like, who the fuck wants to know what Ja Rule thinks about 9/11, bro? Like, hey,
Yeah,
hey,
that's
bro,
true.
I get punched in the face for a living. You really want to know where I stand? Politically, dude, like we chose the dumbest way to make money. You know, bro. Like yeah. Stop. We're getting CTE for all of you guys, and you expect us to know like the
To have
difference
all the
between
world answers.
tariffs
Yeah.
and all this other bullshit, you know. So it's like, yeah, no, man. I just fight, try to provide for my family, you know, and I just live life day by day, man.
Yeah, good answer. Good answer, Adrian. Thanks for doing this, man. Again, looking forward to this one. It is UFC Tampa, December 14th. Anyone you want to thank before we get out of here? Any sponsors, any social media? I always give you the last word.
Oh man, thank you so much. A big shout out to my management team, Iridium Sports Agency, man. Thank y'all so much. Jason, big shout out for hitting me up. Super excited whenever I got the call. I'm sorry I missed the first call. I got two calls for this one. But yeah, big thank you to Dal Moods, Compex, Drink HRW, my lawyer, Chris Dununa. Those guys, yeah, they'll fight for you all the way through. Yeah, and man, I'm excited. I can't wait to show up at Tampa, you know, go out there, get a win. And also people from Florida and Tampa, like please DM me some like very good food spots. My flight doesn't leave Sunday till like the afternoon, so I'll have some time to kind of roam around and get some food. So yeah, definitely DM me some food spots.
There we go. All right, man.